All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music and doing it in real time for a few real people out there, just like you and just like me. Yes, news of another classic rock mainstay, a guy who's been in a band for about 40 years, has decided to quit, or at least stop touring with the band. I'll talk about that. Um, Before I do that, here's a guy who's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And the band I'm going to talk about, they're not in the Hall of Fame either. So, uh, Jerry Beckley, who's in the band America, came out with this album, and it's fairly recent. So, if you like good, sort of adult contemporary, softer, classic rock sounding stuff, which I do, Jerry Beckley has put out a great album, and nobody's really playing it or talking about it. It's disturbing that classic rock is a thing of the past. You could easily put this on, an adult contemporary station or a classic rock station. In the old days, you could do that, but you can't do it anymore. Speaking of classic rock, this has to do with the band Kansas, and they lose another member. Kansas bassist departs band after being there for nearly 40 years. Billy Greer, the bassist and co-lead vocalist for the band Kansas, a lot of people don't realize he sings lead or co-lead on a lot of their material, has retired after nearly 40 years in the band. Can you blame him? Can you blame him? I'm not sure how old Billy is, but he's got to be up there. In a message announcing his departure, Kansas thanked Greer for his decades of service. By the way, Billy Greer is not the original bassist for the band Kansas. That job was done, I think, originally by Dave Hope, who left around the time that the band split up back in the early 80s and then reformed with Billy and also with Steve Morse. It says here, for 39 years, Billy has been a loyal, dedicated, and immensely talented bandmate. He's traveled around the world, including USO tours. This written by drummer Phil Ehart. Now, is Phil back? Because I remember he was stepping aside for a bit, so I'm not sure if he's back in the fold with Kansas doing live gigs. Essentially, you're down to one or maybe two original guys here. We got Rich Williams, who talks about Billy Greer here and says that he stood shoulder to shoulder with us through both the ups and downs. His voice, both singing and emceeing. So he had a frontman presence with Kansas, which they need. They definitely needed that. Has been a constant with us on stage. The entire Kansas family will miss him. Though he was not an original member, Greer's tenure was the third longest in the history of the band, behind Ehart and Williams. So this is not a good thing. The bassist joined in 1985 and was part of the new lineup, which again brought back Steve Walsh and brought in Steve Morse. I mean, this was a good band. That Power album and also In the Spirit of Things, both of those albums are really great albums. For the last 18 years, Greer has taken a prominent role in the Kansas live show, serving as an MC. He says, I consider myself lucky. There have been a couple of incarnations along the way, but we've managed to push through the rough times. I was part of those rough times. I hate reading this stuff about the 90s, but here we go. In the 90s, when grunge became the flavor of the month, he says that set us on a course for doom. How many people did this hostile takeover of the music industry destroy? He says it set us on a course for doom. We kept going. He says those were some dark times, playing small clubs. Imagine Kansas, the band that had already sold millions of albums, right? Millions, having to play in small clubs Tuesday through Thursday to get good gigs on the weekends, he says. It was a rough go for a lot of years, but we slowly made our way back. Greer's final performance with the band took place on September 1st in Windsor, Ontario. The band has not yet announced a replacement, but they assured fans that Greer's departure will not impact any Kansas performance schedule. The group's next show is tonight in Spencer, Iowa, so they may have a new bassist for tonight's show. I don't know how much longer some of these bands can go on, but these guys are obviously determined to keep the brand or the band, depending on how you want to look at it. They want to keep it going, and so the show must go on. One thing about Billy Greer, he was in a band called Streets with Steve Walsh. If you go back and listen to those albums, that was some good AOR music. Some of it did get on rock stations back in the 80s, but hasn't seen a whole lot of radio airplay since. In fact, you only hear like 2 or 3 Kansas songs on the radio these days anyway. So the whole thing, folks, is imploding. It just is. And will this band keep going? Yeah, I think they will. I mean, it just seems they keep replacing people and people keep showing up. So not sure how much nostalgia is going to be there. There's no there when it comes to nostalgia because there won't be any older members to kind of reminisce about. I mean, you got Phil and you got Rich. And the last time someone told me about Rich Williams, he was kind of hunched over on a chair and it looked like he was having difficulty playing and so forth. And he's going to be, I think, probably the next guy to retire. I would be shocked if he kept going for too much longer, but you never know. I mean, the money is really good. I've been told that when Kansas does a show, they get paid really well. So anyway, Jerome Mazza should be their lead singer, all right? Would be a shot in the arm for that band if they got Jerome to sing. All right, before I go, Jerry Beckley, fantastic album. Go check it out. Kansas, not in the Hall of Fame. America, not in the Hall of Fame. Classic rock, kind of going down the drain. But we continue. We keep talking about it, and a few people want to hear about it. So thank you for watching the channel. The channel, again, facing some headwinds from the algorithm. I put out a bunch of videos this week that just went nowhere. Unfortunately, I can't do Journey gossip every day. And so I'm covering other topics. Hopefully things will get better. We're heading toward an election, and typically that means more advertising dollars, but it isn't helping me right now unless there aren't more advertising dollars or they know that I'm not friendly to their candidate of choice. So anyway, folks, thanks for watching. If you can support the channel, YouTube memberships, buy me a coffee, and Patreon, where, again, we have conversations about the music and people interact and so forth. So Patreon is the way to go if you want that experience. My name is Dave, and I will see you soon.